Live from the capital, this is BTV News at 9 o'clock. I am Khomotso Mapani. Let's take a look at the headlines. Restoration of Unit 4 of Morupule B power station to enhance local base load generation capacity. DRC president overturns the death sentences of 3 Americans convicted of attempted coup in Kinshasa. And in sport, Delta Sport Institute officially launches the 3rd edition of the Delta Botswana Junior Golf Championship. And sport is Liza Osakeng, who joins us a bit later, interpreting in sign language is Sopo Taposa. Good evening. President Advocate Duma Boko traveled to South Africa on a private visit from today until Saturday. A press release from the Office of the President says in his absence, the Vice President, Ndaba Likely, will assume the role of acting president. And the energy crisis the Unit 4 at Morupule B power station was successfully restored yesterday. A news release from Botswana Power Corporation says the development enhances local base load generation capacity and alleviates the current supply deficit. Now, capacity from Morupule B power stations has increased to 235 megawatts. BPC says that while the recovery of the units gradually improves power supply, a demand shortfall will continue as the national electricity demand currently stands at 640 megawatts during peak hours and 440 megawatts during off-peak. The release says BPC will continue implementing load management while the nation awaits the outcome of the meeting between the government of Botswana and Eskom on the energy supply. And in news just in, the Ministry of Minerals and Energy has announced the successful conclusion of high-level discussions between the Minister of Minerals and Energy, Ms. Boholo Kenwendo, and South Africa's Minister of Electricity and Energy, Dr. Khosenchu Ramokgopa. The discussions, which were held today, reaffirmed the strong partnerships between the two countries in energy and economic matters. As a key outcome of the discussions, a proposal for a firm power supply at favorable terms to Botswana to ease the current power shortage has been agreed to in principle. The details of the agreement are expected to be finalized within the next 2 weeks, ahead of the next meeting, which will focus on long-term partnership on energy security, regional infrastructure, and other industrialization endeavors. These developments, combined with the recently returned unit at Morupule B power station, are expected to improve electricity supply across the country and reduce load shedding. However, the public is advised to continue using electricity efficiently. In other news, the Member of Parliament for Sorowa South, Mr. Lepetsu Lesedi, says government is committed to providing quality life for the nation by fulfilling all the promises made during the election campaign. Mr. Lesedi said the government will ensure the provision of quality services. He was addressing a Kgotla meeting in Mooko Kgotla Post. Gabriel Mereki has more.
Situated about 55 kilometers away from the nearest village of BUAN is where Mooko Kgotla Post is located. These residents, mostly farmers, have been yearning for a day that their communal dam will be further developed. They say it's through the development of their dam that they could carry their farming to a higher level.
We depend on this dam, but it's troubling us because the spillway is digging on the road that we use. The agriculture office had long promised us that there is some layer that they will put on the road to avoid erosion. We long requested for installation of standpipe where we can easily fetch water from, which we were promised, but he stumbled on the way.
Their concerns regarding the communal dam were attended to.
re dirisa madi gore re te ha re tabo re dirisa madi yana gore ka go ntseng ka teng
The Office of Dams came to assess the situation and offered to help us. So it means the finances we got ended up doing maintenance of Ramajalela Dam. But we hope we will get something this financial year and assist here.
Re thuse mme ka ngwaga wa madi ko o hedile solo ya la gore sengwenyana se re ta se hiwang sone se ke sone se tata re tsamaya lo re le thusa ka so.
Their member of parliament had an opportunity to appraise them on the developments that affect their area.
Karolon le tama ke le leba ne ke le leba tsatsile ne ke bolletse ba neng ke tana ba kare le tama la anyelela.
I have heard your pleas about the dam. We had requested for the railway line, but the Botswana Railways has not got back to us. But we will contact them soon.
Mathata ke gore dilo tsa di sena go agwa. La di leseletse. Ke gore le leba jaaka ekete. Ke tsa ga government. Dilo tse ke tsa lona.
The residents of the area have been encouraged to continue finding other ways to become self-reliant in addition to farming, in order for them to meet the government halfway. Gabriel Meregi, BTV News, Mooko.
The Student Representative Council of BUAN met with the Minister of Higher Education, Mr. Prince Maile, to request his assistance in addressing the water crisis at their campus. The SRC President, Ms. Boitumelo Makura, says that the water at their campus has been shut off for lack of payment of a 26 million Pula bill, and that the situation has escalated to the point where all classes were cancelled starting Monday. The minister revealed that some of this information had been shared with him, but expressed shock that classes had been cancelled and was responsive to students' situation.
BUAN campus has no water at all. We depend on browsers, and it has brought the university to a standstill. It has caused severe health problems for our students. Imagine a girl child having to use water in a bucket every day when they're menstruating. And some of us, we stay in double stories. So having to go fetch water from a Jojo that's in the middle of the university, then you move with it, walk Palamadi stairs, up the stairs. It's a struggle, and some don't even do it.
So na go ru staying monako mamalatsing a mangwe le go na le di assessment. So ara gona go tsa di assessment tsa go nna ya. So se sa go eletsa se di da gore calendar ya mindi. And go amenda calendar go rela go go affect the date tsa graduation tsa bana ba eleng gore ba tshwanetse gore ba complete. Me kana ro operate ka contract ya rona le DTA. Ara amenda calendar. For the time we have lost.
In my view, it's unacceptable. If what you are saying is true, it's unacceptable. And you will never know. Let me hear both sides. And then the response that I'm giving to you is that I'll come at 2:30. I'll come with my team. Come also 2:30.
The Minister of Higher Education, Mr. Prince Maile, has called on the leadership of tertiary education to advocate for inclusive and equitable quality education to promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Mr. Maile was speaking at this year's official launch of the Tertiary Institution National Roadshow held in Gaborone today. Mooko Kgotla compiled the following report.
In a bid to promote quality education and to produce well-refined graduates for industrial employability, tertiary education leaders have joined hands with the private sector and international industrial players to address skills mismatch in the job market. The theme for this year's roadshow is bringing gaps, building futures and revitalizing education through collaborations with the private sector.
So I also wish to urge education and training providers to forge stronger ties with industries to ensure that graduates transition seamlessly into the workforce. We must cultivate a culture where academia and industry collaborate to drive economic growth.
The minister also called on tertiary education institutions to invest in skills beyond traditional academic pathways and empower youth with technical skills that can lead to employment and entrepreneurship.
The new government is determined to create job opportunities and foster an environment where innovation and entrepreneurship thrives. To the students who have recently passed their secondary school examination, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to them. To those who did not achieve the expected goal, do not lose focus as you just experienced a temporary setback. It is a stepping stone to success.
Let's also review and update our offerings to align them to the evolving demands of the local and global economy, thereby ensuring that relevant and impactful skills are developed. I was intrigued yesterday, and the outside world is actually looking at us to provide that. And therefore, if we can then review our offerings to make sure that it's threaded in the fabric of education, then I guess unemployment will be solved, if not solved, at least minimized. So let's try and do that. Let's collaborate with industry to create connections for employment absorption.
In 2015, we came together. The first meeting was at Botswana College. They are the vision bearers of this movement. Tonight we commemorate 10 years of unity, 10 years of traversing Botswana as a collective, with one fundamental objective of providing access to quality education for all. This remarkable milestone deserves to be celebrated.
Since inception 2015, the roadshow has transformed thousands of lives as it affords learners the opportunity to make informed choices for their higher education at a cost-effective manner. Mpo Keleboge, Botswana Television, Gaborone.
Former Naledi Senior Secondary School alumni and also a member of the Effective Learning Global Star, Pako Lipodisi, says focusing and choosing the right people as friends is the right step to achieving one's goal of excelling in academic studies. He was speaking at an event organized by the Effective Learning in collaboration with Gaborone South constituency to appreciate the top achievers at Mooko Kgotla yesterday in Gaborone. Hobonaone Sehedi with more.
Education allows for self-dependency in future. This is what drove Pako Lipodisi, a former student at Naledi Senior Secondary School, to pull up his socks in his education journey, resulting in him becoming the best student in the country in BGCSE. But this has not come easy. As he says, he was focused despite challenges in his journey.
I feel like you should develop a mentality of resilience, hard work and determination, because the path to academic success is a very difficult one, because there are going to be instances whereby you are not going to excel in the manner you wanted. But your determination, resilience is what determines your overall success. It's the journeys and the successes and even the defeats you've made along the way that contribute to the overall story at the end.
Surround yourself with the right people and keep the right mindset. With regards to surrounding yourself with the right people, I think people really determine the person that you're going to become, and that played a role a lot during my Form 5, because the friends that I kept around me were people who would cultivate academic excellence in me.
Parents as well as teachers were commended for pushing learners to reach their full potential.
The future belongs to you. The future is yours, and the world is yours as young people. There's
a gap that we have identified in the education system where, despite the efforts that we do, there's still that need to teach learners how to learn effectively, because teachers are consumed with the demands of the curriculum. So that's where we come in as the effective learning to teach learners how to learn.
This program, which has identified a gap in the education system, commits to teach learners and prepare them for examination season, which will help improve student skills.
You're still with BTV News at 9. The Minister of Environment and Tourism, Mr. Winter Mulutsi, says it is the government's intention to amend laws and regulations that previously undermined basic human rights, such as free movement of persons. Minister Mulutsi said this recently at the launch of the unrestricted movement of people on the Sidudu Ngoma transit route via the Chobe National Park. He shared that the Constitution of Botswana stipulates that any and every Motswana be allowed to move freely at all times without any hindrances, as this is part and parcel of their basic human rights. Kialeboga Eole reports.
Minister Mulutsi says his government, being human rights centric, heeded the plea of Chobe residents regarding the operating hours of the Sidudu Ngoma transit route, as it was previously restrictive. Government has now granted 24 hours access on this route to the public, effective 1st of April.
We stand here today, and I stand before you to deliver the promise we made and to deliver a very, very important promise, a promise made in Parliament on the 21st of February 2025. On the same day, I stood before Parliament and informed honorable members and the nation at large that in our conservation efforts, we need to be mindful that our government is human rights centric and willing to listen to the plight of the people. In these efforts, I'm here to reiterate once again that the Ministry of Environment and Tourism has made a decision to open the Sidudu Ngoma transit route in the Chobe National Park so that it operates for 24 hours effective from today, the 1st of April 2025.
This decision by the new government to lift the time restrictions of this route will restore the dignity and integrity of the people of Chobe East and West.
They are very happy at this gesture. What a rate.
Meanwhile, Minister Mulutsi says there are new developments that will be made in the Department of Wildlife and National Parks.
I'm happy that we have been able to source uniform for all wildlife officers and have a robust plan to meet the schedule of issue over the coming years. We are also in the process of rearming the anti-poaching unit of the department.
The 60 kilometers Sidudu Ngoma transit route is now officially open to the public to traverse day and night with regulations in place that will govern its use. Kialeboga Eole, BTV News, Sidudu Gate.
Northwest District Councillors have expressed concern over a stringent 2025-26 financial year budget, which they say is not sufficient to alleviate poverty in the district. Councillors were commenting on budget presentations which indicate that there will be drastic reductions in both the recurrent and development budget as compared to the previous year. Maranyane Samakata reports.
While they approved the budget, councillors said it was worrying that the budget for some certain projects had been cut by more than half, which leaves them with unanswered questions of how they as a council would address some burning issues that had remained unresolved for years.
Road maintenance, however, the budget there, it has been reduced by 2.6 million. But look at what is happening in Mooko. All these potholes, it will reduce the budget of road maintenance by 99%. What are you saying?
We must make it clear that we do not agree with what we have been allocated. It is our mandate as councillors to raise these issues so that the government is aware that the funds allocated are not enough to address our challenges as a district.
It's not enough.
Some of our projects will be gravely affected. We will pass the budget, but let it be known that we will not be able to deliver as expected. Let us plead with the government to give us money that we had asked for. The budget proved to be a challenging one for the financial year 2025-2026.
Under for the additional facilities for the backlog construction, last financial year 24-25.
For our backlog construction budget for schools, we were given 5.3 million pula in the previous year, while this year we have been allocated 700,000 pula only. You will realize that the budget has been reduced significantly. For maintenance of buildings and schools, we had 9,083,000 pula in the previous year, while this year we have been allocated 492,000 pula only.
25-26, 492,000 pula.
Councillors therefore urged the government to review the decision to cut the district's budget, as this move would only throw the already disadvantaged district deep into poverty. Marayane Samagata, BTV News, Maung.
Moving further afield, the U.S. President Donald Trump has unveiled sweeping tariffs on trading partners, including African countries, as part of his so-called Liberation Day reshaping of global trade, including Botswana, which has been slapped with a 37% tariff rate. Among African countries hardest hit by Trump's drive to introduce what he says are reciprocal tariffs are the Southern African states of Lesotho, whose goods will be hit with a tariff of 50%, Madagascar with 47%, Mauritius 40%, Angola 32%, South Africa 30%, Namibia 21%, Zimbabwe 18%, Zambia 17%, and Malawi with a 17% tariff rate. North Africa is also among the regions hit. Libya will be charged 31%, Algeria 30%, and Tunisia 28%. In West Africa, Cote d'Ivoire is the hardest hit at 21% tariff rate, while Nigeria is subjected to a 14% tariff rate, and China, the continent's biggest trading partner, has been hit with a 54% tariff rate. Trump has claimed that all the countries hit by the new reciprocal tariffs already levy extensive tariffs on the U.S. For example, it was claimed that hardest hit Lesotho charges the U.S. 99%, while Madagascar levies 33%, Mauritius 80%, and Botswana 74%. Trump said that a discounted reciprocal tariff meant the new tariff still left some tariffs at a lower rate than those charged to the U.S. And finally, the Democratic Republic of Congo's President Felix Tshisekedi has commuted death sentences of 3 Americans convicted of participating in a botched coup attempt in Kinshasa last year. The pardon came amid DRC authorities' efforts to sign a minerals deal with the U.S. in exchange for security support to help fight rebels in the conflict-hit eastern region. The U.S. Department of State announced that President Donald Trump's new advisor for Africa, Massad Boulos, will travel to DRC Congo, and 3 other African countries starting today. Liza Osekeng is standing by with sport.
Thank you so much, Khomotso. Good evening. I am Liza Oseke with your World of Sport. In our leading story, Delta Sport Institute has officially launched the 3rd edition of the Delta Botswana Junior Golf Championship. During the launch, Delta Botswana's Chief Executive Officer Ibrahim Mohammed emphasized the institution's primary goal, which is to secure qualification for the prestigious Champions of Champions World Championship to be held in Northern Ireland, as well as the World Stars Championship in Las Vegas in America. Khomotso Sefako and Pushiamlilo compiled this report.
As part of its commitment to grassroots development, Delta Sport Institute launched its 3rd Junior Golf Championship. The tournament, open to young golfers aged 5 to 19 from both Africa and beyond, aims to provide a platform for emerging talent to compete internationally. The event will be held annually, offering young athletes a chance to hone their skills against top competitors from across the globe.
The prestigious tournament stands as a testament to our commitment for nurturing young talent, fostering sportsmanship and developing the future stars of Botswana golfing community. The Delta Junior Golf Championship, now in its 3rd year, has established itself as a premier event that brings together the most promising golfers from across the SADC region and beyond. What are our objectives of this championship? It's to provide a competitive platform for junior golfers and develop a stage where they can display their talent, to promote golf as a sport amongst the youth in Botswana, to encourage values of discipline, integrity, and excellence through sport, to identify and nurture the potential future golf champions. And the big one is to qualify for the Champions of Champions World Championship in Northern Ireland and the World Stars Championship in Las Vegas.
With registration closing on Wednesday, over 200 participants have already signed up for this eagerly awaited event.
One of the reasons why we are excited about Delta Botswana Junior Golf Championship is that we really want to showcase that we can host major events as golf. And if you understand, Southern Africa is Botswana is part of the Southern African Tour, which is Sunshine Tour. And because most of the events happen in South Africa, if you are a professional golfer in Botswana and want to play on tour, you have to reside in South Africa, and it can be very expensive. And that is one of the issues. By showcasing that we can host major events, we are hopeful that we can be able to attract sponsors for pro golf tournaments. Thank you.
The best thing in the whole wide world is to catch them young. Any generation that wants to keep golf alive, you must catch them young. When the chairman was giving his introduction, he said from 5 years, I tell you, golf has come to stay. Tiger Woods started playing golf at that age, and Tiger Woods become a man to be reckoned with. So Botswana is in the right path.
The championship is scheduled to take place at the Stanbic Bank Gaborone Golf Club from the 26th to the 27th of this month. Khomotso Sefako, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
And now switching course to football news. Security Systems ladies team are now second in the Gaborone City Region Football Association Division 1 women's log standings after defeating Township Rollers ladies by 2-1 in a Week 9 encounter played at Royal Area Stadium on Wednesday. 2 goals from Masego Munso and Bamingenda ensure that the Alarm Girls move up 3 places to second on the log standings. Kagiso Molelekwa.
The home side Popa went into the game sitting on position 4 with 14 points from 8 games, whilst Jurisis teams on the other hand were 5th with 13 points. Both teams started the match on a higher note, evidently looking for all the 3 points in their quest to reduce the points deficit created by the on-fire log leaders Gaborone United. 20 minutes into the first half, Tertiary found the back of the net for the Popa ladies following a defensive error by his team's back line. After Makhetwane's goal, Popa took control of the game, but their efforts failed to bear fruits as the match went to recess with Rollers leading by 0-0. Coming from the halftime break, Security Systems ladies looked rejuvenated, putting Rollers' defense under endless pressure. 17 minutes into the second half, the match defender Masego Montsho leveled the matters for Security Systems from a well-taken free kick to make it 1-1. After Montsho's equalizer, both teams continued displaying high technical discipline, making it hard for either one to crack the other's defensive line. A few minutes before regulation time, Bamingenda broke the ice to give Security Systems 3 crucial points.
It was a tricky game.
But what I can say, first half, it didn't go well in the midfield. That's why we goal. Then second half we changed. We made 3 subs. A second half, and those 3 subs we did until we got an equalizer. Then game may swing either way because both of us are never win. Likely that set piece we did talk to Mobenchero Murare. It's the last 5 minutes. We know you can do it, and it was great. Good finish, good win.
The most in the first half, very good.
We started the first half very well and we managed to get a goal. At half-time, I told my players to forget about the lead and focus on getting another goal, but they didn't come to the party. Our opponents capitalized on set pieces because my players committed the same mistakes even when conceding the second goal. But overall, we played well.
But I set piece sometimes the player because the way the same the way calling second goal. It's our the girls not bad because second division because it's our concentration and focus the game to the city. Then we solve your.
Yesterday's loss drops Township Rollers Ladies to position 5 with 14 points from 4 wins, 3 draws and 2 losses, while Tertiary teams move up to position 3 with 16 points from 5 wins, 1 draw and 3 losses. Kariso Morelekwa, PTV Sport, Tlokweng.
Meanwhile, Double Action women's football team dominated their counterparts, Police 11, with a resounding 5-0 victory in a Gaborone City Football Association Division 1 Women's League match held at Likidi in Gaborone. Khorata Moyeng was there.
The match, which drew spectators from both teams, started at a high pace, with Double Action take charge of the early exchanges. Peggy Manawe netted the first goal on the 11th minute, setting the tone for the game. She doubled the lead shortly after, ensuring Double Action went into half-time with a 2-0 advantage. In the second half, Double Action continued their dominance, giving Police 11 no opportunity to recover. They scored 3 more goals, sealing the match with an emphatic 5-0 victory. Both team coaches acknowledged that the game provided valuable experience, which will help them improve in the future matches.
5-0 is a better result. We are fighting for.
To us, 5-0 is a bad result because we are fighting for survival. The result did not favor us. We were hoping for a draw. We lost 5-0, and on Saturday we are playing again, but our team is very thin. We are playing Township Rollers on Saturday, and we hope to get 3 points.
Tomorrow we are coming for recovery, for training. We back as a game on Saturday. We are going to play against the Township Rollers. We got 3 points, fighting for survival.
With due respect to our opponents and.
Let me first thank God, thank our opponents and my girls. Our game went well, according to the plan, even though we had planned that we should get more goals on the first half so that we could rest on the second half. But still, we got 3 points on the second half. We are playing on Wednesday, but I'm very happy that we got to win. Even though we ended up getting 3 points on the second half, but everything went according to our plan.
Everything's according to plan to find more goals like we wanted to.
The victory marked Double Action's 5th win of the season, placing them second on the league table with 17 points from 5 wins, 2 draws and just 1 loss. Meanwhile, Police 11 remains in 6th place with 6 points from 2 wins and 6 losses. Khorata Moyeng, PTV Sport, Gaborone.
Well, that is it for sport this evening. Komozo is standing by to give us a reminder of our top stories.
Restoration of Unit 4 of Moruple B Power Station to enhance local-based load generation capacity. And the DRC president overturns the death sentences of 3 Americans convicted of attempted coup in Kinshasa.
Delta Sport Institute officially launches the 3rd edition of the Delta Botswana Junior Golf Championship.
That's how we come to the end of our news bulletin this evening. Up next is weather.